Welcome. Well, I had spoke one of the last times we were together about wondering if maybe we could nudge back just slightly into the 20th century and see if there's a computer that actually can keep up a little bit. So, of course, there's something behind me. And if you look at it with that graphite top, you're going to think, well, Lord, it's another sawtooth. What good is that going to be? Let's take a look. Well, yes, it really does look like a sawtooth. See, nothing really different on the front. You've got the power button. There's a restart button and the programmer button, which you're not really ever supposed to touch. I come over here on the side. That sticker's from the seller. And a couple of marks there, but not too bad. It's actually in very good shape. All right, maybe I can just turn this a bit here. And we can see our back I/O. Yes, the two FireWire 400s. The Ethernet. Two USB 1.1. Microphone. Audio out. Phone jack. Nothing other than the graphics card. I've got to get down here to... Oh, okay, this is interesting. So we got a VGA. But that should be an ADC. I should be able to use a cinema display with this. Ah, that's nice. And that's a step up from the sawtooth. Okay, power, and then, the power out to the monitor. The sticker here, I'm having a little trouble reading, but that's okay. All right. So, now, can I get this open with one hand? I sure can. All right. Yeah, I really only see a couple of differences between the sawtooth board and this. It lacks, unfortunately, that internal FireWire 400 port. And yeah, this is a pretty massive heatsink. This has got to be a dual processor. Absolutely. All right. You see the graphics card, 3 open PCI slots, as we had thought. That looks like one of those Israeli PRAM batteries, which I'm willing to bet is probably dead, but we'll see when we boot it up. Okay. Optical drive is in there. Nothing in the lower bay, so there's no zip drive, which we could basically tell from the front bezel anyway. All right. And there is an IBM DeskStar hard drive with the Apple marking, so this is most likely the original 40 gig. We can, of course, add another drive. We could indeed add 2 SSDs. This is limited, as so many of them are, to 128 gig maximum. But, we can put a PCI card in and try the bigger FireWire 400 drive in this one, as we've done with the others. Okay, so I would think the next thing we have to do here is to get this machine booted up and get a better idea of what we've got. Just a second. Okay, we're going handheld here for a moment. We just want to get this booted up. Should be able to do this pretty quickly. Oh! That volume is turned up way loud, isn't it? I'll turn that down. Frightened me. Okay, here's our boot screen. Booting into some variety of OS 10. Probably Tiger. It's just sitting there, isn't it? I don't think it's doing anything. I'm going to power it down. Okay. A couple of seconds. Let's power it back up. More reasonable volume on the chime. Okay. Okay, so we've got progress wheel anyway. The screen has gone black. Which I would say is normal. Except it's staying black, isn't it? Yeah, I can feel it humming away. It's vibrating. Okay, I am getting a feeling that maybe it is actually booted up, but we can't see anything. Well, okay, I'm gonna have to do some troubleshooting, and then we'll be back and hopefully get this thing figured out. Well, I'm on a different monitor. Let's see what that does. Okay. Now let's see if it comes back. See, it came back. Okay. Computer's clock is set to a well. That is clearly that dead Israeli battery. All right, here's what I think is happening here. Even though there's an ADB port on that video card, I don't think this computer is able to power the Apple Cinema display. Now, I may be wrong, but if I am right, I think the Apple Studio display that preceded it used the ADB port as well, but didn't require as much power. But at any rate, this Dell monitor is working, so let's have a look at About This Mac. Yes, indeed. Dual 500 megahertz PowerPC G4. 640 megabytes of RAM. Let's have a look here. The system profiler. And Is there Bluetooth? No, there's no Bluetooth. Is there Wi-Fi? Nope, there's no Wi-Fi. That's not a problem. Okay, but what I really wanted to look at here is the memory. Okay, yeah, one empty DIMM. Yeah, two 256s, one 128. I've got a couple of 512 DIMMs that should work in this. And, you know, I can probably just borrow some RAM from the Sawtooth, at least until we get this up and running. All right. Yep. 40 gig IBM hard drive. Oh, wow. Pioneer DVD-RW. And, Yep, it'll burn all right. Well, that's good to know. It's got that ahead of the Sawtooth anyway, which just had a reader that didn't work anyway. So yeah, CD write, RRW, DVD write, -R/-RW plus. That could prove handy. Okay, so what we're going to need to do with this will be upgrade the RAM, put an SSD. I'll probably leave this 40 gig drive in for now, put the secondary SSD in on the IDE, see about getting a card in there, putting an Ethernet, a FireWire port inside. So yeah, I think, and yeah, and replace the PRAM battery, of course. This machine has a chance, I think, and the reason I think it has a chance, while it's 500 megahertz, the Sawtooth was 450. That's a jump, but not such a big jump that it would make a difference. But will the fact that it's a dual processor get us to the point that we can actually use this machine? I don't know, but I think it's going to be interesting to find out. So stay tuned for what comes up next. Be good to other people and be good to yourselves. Thank you for joining me.